Hey guys, Jason Scudellari CPP, and I'm standing underneath our Week to Wicked C10, and we're getting ready to have a little fun with this thing and take out autocrossing. But we want to be able to fine tune the truck a little bit more, so what we're going to do is take off our double adjustable Viking shocks and put their triple adjustables on there. That way we can really fine tune the suspension. Also, we're going to go with a heavier spring up front, hoping to plant the rear a little bit more to keep it from coming around. So, with that being said, enough of me talking. Let's get the new parts on and go out and have some fun. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get the double adjustables out of the truck, starting with the rear. We'll get the new triple adjustables in, and then we'll go up to the front and do the same. So one thing CPP is always doing is always improving. And one thing they've done here is this is the old style where the shock or coilover goes in one spot only, where this one's actually, you can put it down, up, flip it around and put it in the middle spot, which this one's on. They actually box this entire plate in now, where the other side's opened up and it's only bent on the one side. So it's even stronger, more adjustment. This here is just our tow hook, so when we go from show to show, we've got something to strap it down on easy. But here's the new and improved. Here's the older one, which you can see is not completely boxed all the way around. Both work great, but again, just a little better. All right, we'll go ahead and put our new bracket on there. I'm gonna put our tow hook on there. I'll torque these after I'm all done. So this is our offset bracket that we can, like I said, go this way, which will bring to a shorter shock, down for a longer shock. You can flip it and put it in that neutral position. Our shock is about an inch shorter than the ones we took off, so we're gonna put that going up. So we take our first bracket, spacer, other bracket, our shock rides in between here. Go ahead and get that on there. All right, that looks good. We're gonna go ahead and remove this side, same thing. Put the new brackets on, and then we'll go ahead and get our new triple adjustable coilovers, get those installed, torque everything down, and move on to the front. Reassembled the coilover. I just took our adjusting nuts, put them all the way down, pulled the top collar off, dropped the spring down, get the collar, put it in place, and now we're ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and put the 1/2-inch sleeves in for our bolts. So we got our knobs here. One's compression for the low speed. We got a rebound, and then our high speed here's an Allen key. We're gonna go ahead and put the coilover in. Make sure that you put your adjusting knobs in a position that you get to them very easily. There you go. All right, on to the other side. One really nice thing about these is there's a ton of room down here, so if you need to adjust your load on your spring to either raise or lower the truck, it's super easy to get in here, as long as you obviously have it jacked up. Well, it was simple as that. We got our new triple adjustable coilovers in there, our updated brackets. We'll move on to the front. Alrighty, so I've already done the driver's side. We're gonna come over here and switch out the coilover and spring on the passenger side. Again, we're going to that triple adjustable shock, so let's get started. Pretty simple job here. Let's go ahead and get the cotter pin off of the lower ball joint. I'm going to undo the sway bar real quick. I'll go ahead and get the bottom 2 bolts out of the shock now. All right, go ahead and do this 3/4 up on top. I'm gonna go ahead and preload this a little bit, get that top bolt out. This bottom spring's under a little bit of a load, even though the nuts are completely spun out on the shock. Okay. There we go. Why don't you follow me over here and we'll build the other shock. All right, we're gonna go ahead and take our bushing. This is for the bottom. I like to get these started. I like to get these started a little. Go ahead and put the snap ring on one side. Get that locked into place. All right, we'll go ahead and get that down to the bottom. All right, our other snap ring. Get that started over there. Take another sock on top, that usually gets it into place. Got one side into place, let me get the other side. There we go. Everything's ready to go. All right, so we're getting ready to install our new triple adjustable shock up front. It's a really good idea to get yourself the thrust bearing and washers. It makes life a whole lot easier when you go to adjust the tension on that spring. We went a little heavier on the front spring, went to a 750 pound. Make sure you get that all positioned correctly. All right, there's just gonna be a tiny, tiny bit of preload on this. So I'm gonna use the tranny jack to kind of help me out. It's not a ton, but it's just a little. This will make it a little easier. Before I put the shock in, I went ahead and took the compression screw and screwed it all the way in to make that shock as tight as possible. That way when I fed it up and through the bucket into the mount, it didn't compress the shock down on me. Be sure you got your adjusting knobs in a position when the truck's down on the ground, they're easy to get to. We're gonna keep ours facing towards the wheel. We'll go ahead and get that bolt through the top. All right, there's one. Get that lined up so we can put a cotter pin in there. We'll get this tranny jack out of here. Actually, you know what? This would be a good idea to actually get my sway bar back on. Okay. Get that. Don't over tighten the bottom. We got a bushing down there. Okay, now we can get our tranny jack out. Go ahead and put the cotter pin in. Secure the top bolt. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put some more preload on the front spring. I'm kind of guessing where we're at since we're going with the heavier spring. I'll start a little lower and work my way up. Before I put the tie rod on, I wanna do that because I wanna be able to get the caliper and rotor as far away as possible. So I'm just gonna crank this up as much as I did on the other side, so they're both even. All right, all that's left is the tie rod into the spindle. We'll put our nut on there, we'll tighten that up and put the cotter pin in, and we'll get the wheel on here and see where she sits. All righty. One other thing we've done was went to a stickier tire that will complement our shocks that we just put on there. So get these lug nuts on, get this thing on the ground, we'll take it for a spin. All right, so we got all the new shocks in, went up a little bit on the spring rate up front, and I adjusted them somewhere in between cruising the roads and maybe a little autocrossing. So they're a little stiffer, both on the rebound and the compression, but so far so good. Everything feels really nice. The ride's awesome. So we'll find ourselves, you know, a couple bumps and kind of see if we can fill the high speed and low speed compression settings. But yeah, I like this a lot. I know we could tone it down just a little bit probably for daily driving, but I know we can also crank it up so when we get to the track, we'll be doing the things that we know this truck can do. Yeah, the truck still moves pretty good too. We gotta find a couple turns maybe we can just see where we're at, see where the roll is on the truck. But we got both the front and rear sway bar hooked up. That should help in the turns. Hopefully it doesn't get a little too rear end happy, but I think with the stickier tire and the adjustments we've made, we should be good to go. Nice. Hardly any roll at all, and we can still stiffen that up quite a bit, but I think if we went too stiff in the rear, we'd probably end up making it a little tail happy and probably have some oversteer, so I think this is a pretty good setup, at least for the streets right now. Pretty stoked on an easy install and a ton of adjustment that we can make to the truck for on-road and on the track. So, when you're ready to order your classic car or truck parts, give us a call or visit classicperform.com. If you like this video and you want to see more, visit teamcpp.com, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel.